welcome back to our decking series, my friend.
Oh, thank you, Jim. Yeah.
It might be good to just touch on warranties. And as I shared with you when we were talking the other day, my brain was sort of going towards the claim route. You brought up the idea of actually, first of all, registering for your warranty after you built your deck.
Yeah.
We just talked about that. I hadn't thought about that.
No, that's something we've been focused on, getting more of a return and higher percentages in that category. But as soon as you get a deck, you can register it. And really, we ask that of our contractor base, so all of our Trex pros out there, to register their decks. And when they register the decks, they get a nice welcome packet, the cleaning care guide. It's going to come with some additional information, a nice letter from our CEO, but it's a nice professional package that the homeowner will get. But by registering that warranty of a homeowner, it's really easy to do too. You just go to either call 1-800-BUY-TREX, or you go to Trex.com and you can scroll down to the bottom and there'll be a kind of a site map down there, but there's a section there that's Trex owners that you just put in register my warranty.
Gotcha.
So
yeah, some of the maybe not so well-known brands, they might not even have something like you have there, which is good to know. I'm guessing whether I file early on for it or not, that doesn't impact my future coverage if there is a challenge.
No, it doesn't. No, as long as it's a Trex product and we can figure that out just by the wood grain and the style of it. But yeah, if they file the warranty, they can put it in a folder like they do, with, my warranties that I have. I got washer and dryer warranty that I've got in file. And if anything does happen, they'll have the paperwork there. Yeah. But ours is also transferable. Yeah. So if they do sell the house or they do something like that, then it's something you can leave behind.
That's nice. We never want anybody to end up in a situation where they have to use their warranty, but again, it's nice to have reputable partners and manufacturers that actually have a remedy if there is a challenge. So let's just say, for instance, I built myself a deck and I get it down and I start looking at it a week later and go, gosh, it just seems like the color is maybe not quite what I saw at the store I bought it from, or maybe some different length boards seem a little different. How would I go about engaging with the manufacturer and sorting out whether there is an issue or not?
Well, first I'd say you probably go to either call 1-800 and initiate that claim. So you got to start that claim.
Okay. And that's ideally it's online process, or does it?
It can be online or a phone call. So you can either call 1-800-BUY-TREX, and then you can go online too and file it online, and then you'll get a claim number. When you start filling that out, it's a real simple form. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's name and address, what's going on. It'll ask you for some photos, and I would encourage you to kind of really take a look at that, because if, like you had mentioned, color, maybe in wet, when the surface is wet, it's not showing the issue.
Okay.
And maybe when it's dry, it is. Yeah. So I would take the photos when it's dry, because you're trying to tell them a story with those photos.
Okay. When it comes to a warranty, maybe we could talk a little bit about what's covered, and maybe as importantly, what is not covered typically in a warranty in building products.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The one thing is product is warranted, so for replacement. The one thing that's not pretty standard in our industry, there's no labor is part of that. So it's a product replacement generally.
That makes the things that we've talked about as far as best practices in installing your product even that much more important, because like you say, if something goes sideways, you're at least going to get replacement material if you're dealing with a reputable manufacturer. But that it doesn't cover improper installation, and that can just ruin the whole thing. So doing it right definitely helps protect you.
No, it works hand in hand, and it's a perfect segment to not, it's not something to shy away from conversation. We're a great company, we stand behind the product, and I think warranties are a big part of that. And the one thing it goes back to is Trex is that one deck sells 10 others. So really, if there is any questions or doubts on the product, I'd like to take care of it quickly, because I know our product's going to look great out there, and people are going to say, what's that? I need that, or look at how you did that bench, or look at that design on your deck. So
we've talked about it before in the series, but just the values of the companies and the partners we have, it's so important, because at the end of these things are your brand. You don't think about 99.9% of the time, or maybe more, things just go smooth. They go fine. There's no issues. And that's what's expected. And a lot of people talk about character, what have you, but it's when things get a little challenging, or maybe somebody has to consider opening their wallet to take care of something, where you see where people's true colors are. And I got to thank you for many times over the years, not that we've had that many challenges, but a lot of times it's not Dunn's fault, it's not Trex's fault, but we try to own it together.
Yeah.
We own it because we take responsibility that's why we're doing this series. We take responsibility for getting that knowledge into those people's hands and heads so they can do a better job.
Yeah, that's great. I can't thank you enough for that too, because that is a partnership.
Yeah. Well, it's been a long time. We're going to keep doing it. One other question I had, Kevin, was maybe you could talk about a little bit. It's a manufactured product coming out of a factory, but at the end of the day, we're not building airline parts to precision tolerances, right? So I guess just as far as setting expectations, there's probably some tolerances out there as to the width of a deck board. It can be plus or minus X and so forth.
Yeah.
And what's acceptable for one person is not acceptable for another. And some things we can do something about, some things we can't. So could you touch on that a little bit?
No, I think great response would be, we're going to be better tomorrow than we are today on that. I mean, really, that's how our business is changing, and that's how our manufacturing processes and our leaders are doing. They're doing a great job on tightening those specs all the time. So one, yes, we have specs on all of it, whether it's color, width, height, the radius is on the corner. We have a CRM machine in both manufacturing facilities that is in our R&D department that they actually check, all the points of a board constantly, and we do it every 3 units. Okay. So quality control has always been a high focus for Trex, and continue to get better at what we do.
Yeah. Well, Kevin, even though this was a topic that we struggled whether we wanted to even go down this road, I'm really glad we did. And I think at the end of the day, the more we think about it, it really touches on our values and Dunn's desire to continue to build trust with our clients, our suppliers, and so forth. And for me, it's super nice. And if something comes on my radar, I'm comfortable picking up the phone and calling you and say, how are we going to figure this out? Mm-hmm. And it's not pushback. It's not, hey, I don't know, or I don't know if I can swing it. It's always, okay, what do we need to do? And I think for the people viewing this series, that's something that they can count on and help build their confidence, because there's been enough challenges out there, weird products, people going bankrupt and leaving people hanging with some deck made out of who knows what. And we've got a 20-plus year relationship, and we continue to take care of stuff for our customers, each other. So I'm really pleased to be able to do that, continue to do that in the future. So thank you, my friend.
Yes, I am too. Thank you.